Obviously, we need a camera. We already have one, but it's not really in the right place. We want it to be following behind the character at all times, and for us to also be able to move it around with the mouse. So, let's do that. Grab your character controller and turn it 180 degrees on the Z-axis. Afterwards, select your camera and move it in the position that you generally want it when you're playing a game. Nice. Next thing is to have the camera move around when we move the mouse in the game engine. So select your character controller, set the 3D cursor to the selected object, and add a sphere empty. Scale it up so that it's the size of the character controller, and Shift A to apply the scale so that this becomes the new official size of the empty. And what we're going to be doing is attaching this camera to the sphere, thus making the sphere empty's rotation control where the camera is looking. So name the sphere empty camera look, grab your camera and snap the cursor to the selected object, then add a cube, scale it down, press Shift A to apply the scale. Make the cube display as a wireframe object in the object properties, and in the object's physics properties, make sure that invisible is selected, and change the physics type to no collision. They're probably wondering, what is this object that we just made? My friend, this object is going to be the holder for our camera, and our camera is going to be connected to this object. This is so that if you have any camera animations like camera shaking, any new locations that you keyframe are not going to override the location of the camera as it's being controlled by the camera look empty. So select your camera and parent it to the cube, and in the object properties, name your cube something like camera holder. Then copy that, go into the object data properties and paste it in the name box, and then parent your camera holder to your camera look empty. And now if you rotate your camera look empty, as you can see, your camera rotates around your character. Now to make this work in game, have your camera look empty selected and go into the logic editor. Then you're going to create one mouse sensor and one mouse actuator. In the mouse actuator, change the mouse event from left button to movement. This is going to have our sensor send an input upon the movement of the mouse, turn true triggering on, and then name this movement. Connect the mouse sensor to the mouse actuator, and in the mouse actuator, change visibility to look. And we now have what we need to control the rotation of the camera look empty with the mouse movement in the game. And now if we press P to run the game and move the mouse around, our camera rotates around the character, because through the mouse movement we are now controlling the rotation of the camera look empty. And also to make the rotation of the camera a lot smoother, select your camera holder.
Hi, yeah, it's Steven from the future. Actually, don't select the camera holder. Instead, you're going to select the camera. Make sure you select the camera instead.
Holder and go into the object properties. Scroll down to relations extra, turn on slow parent and make the offset something like 10. And now when you run the game, moving around the camera will now feel a lot smoother. Now of course, the elephant in the room, there is obviously one large glaring issue, and that is that it clips through the ground! What is this? Fun fact, when I made my old tutorials, I actually did not know how to solve this, but in the following year I actually figured it out. And that is the power of experience, my friend. You learn as you go. To solve this, you're going to press Alt-D to make a duplicate of your camera and move it in along the local Z-axis, which you can do by pressing Z twice, and move it into where your character is. And rename it Camera Zoom. And what this camera is going to do is it's going to send a ray out from the back, approximately the length of where the camera would first hit the ground. And if there's any objects in the way when it's not hitting the ground, or if the ray hits the ground, the camera holder is going to move to the position where the ray is hit. Now for this to work, we're going to need our zoom camera to be parented to the camera look empty. So I'll select the zoom camera, press Alt P to clear in the parent relationship it has to the camera holder. Make sure that you click clear and keep transformation. Then you're going to parent the zoom camera to the camera look empty, and also going to duplicate our camera holder, scale it up so that we can see it, and then change its name to camera reset, since this object is going to be the location where the camera returns to when the camera is not hitting any objects. So now to make this invisible laser ray, that is going to make the camera zoom in if it needs to. Select your zoom camera and go into the logic editor and add a ray sensor. Turn X-ray mode on so the ray is able to pass through objects, and set the mask to be the first collision layer, since that is the same layer that our floor is in. Next, we're going to need a property for this ray to detect. So go into viewport mode, select your floor object, go into the logic editor and add a game property, and set the name of the property to cam obstacle, which is short for camera obstacle. Then select your zoom camera again, and input the name of the property that we just gave our floor object, which is going to allow it to detect the floor. Make sure you set the axis to the back of the zoom camera, and to know which axis that is, go to the transformation orientation and change global to local. And as you can see, the direction that we want our ray to be pointing in is the positive Z axis. So go into the logic editor, and in the ray sensor, change the axis to the positive Z axis. Afterwards, we're going to need the length of the ray, and for me, 19 works best. So now that we have the ray sensor, turn true triggering on, and then add a Python controller. Connect the ray sensor to the Python controller, and now we're going to make the script which will make our camera move if the camera is clipping through anything in the scene. So go over to the text editor, change the name of the script to camera.py, and then under the definition, change it to collision. Next, we're going to make a header called objects, and underneath we're going to have all the objects that our script is going to need to have access to, which is going to be our camera holder and the camera reset object. So to get those, we're going to type a name for our object. We're going to do the camera holder first, and then to actually get the object, we're going to type scene.objects, open square brackets, and in the quotation marks, we're going to put the actual name of our object in the scene, which for the camera holder, we've named it camera holder. So I'll put that in, and then close the square brackets. What this has done is it's gone through the scene,
And in the list of objects in the scene,
is going to find the object with the name camera holder, and then apply that to the name we've given it in the script. Do the same thing for the camera reset object. So first we type out a name for it, equals, and then in the list of objects in the scene, we're going to find the one with the name camera reset. Now we've given the script access to those objects. To make the presentation easier to read, sometimes it helps to label the objects that we've defined like so. And this script also needs access to the zoom camera's ray sensor. So make a header called inputs, which all our sensors will be. And for our sensor, name it something like camera collision. And in our controller's sensors, find the ray sensor that we've made in the logic editor, copy the name of it, and paste it in the square brackets. Since we don't have any actuators, we don't need that in the script. And now we are ready to code the mechanic. So for the if statement, replace sensor with our camera collision sensor. And if the camera collision sensor is positive, instead of activating any actuators, all we're going to do is set the camera holder's world position to the position of the collision, or where the ray has hit. So if camera collision is positive, we are going to type camera holder.world position be equal to camera collision hit position. Also a quick note, hit position is something that can only be accessed if the sensor is a ray sensor. Then we're going to press enter and press backspace so that our indentation is in line with the if statement. And then we're going to type else, colon, press enter. And then under this, you're going to have it so that the camera holder's world position is equal to the camera reset object's world position. Thus putting the camera back in its place when the ray is not detecting any obstacles. So type that out, camera holder.world position is equal to camera reset world position. Now that we have that sorted, go into the logic editor of your zoom camera, change the script type to module, and put in the name of the script and the function, just like so. Now you may want to fix the issue here where the camera still clips to the ground while the camera isn't fully zoomed, and to do that you're going to want to offset the location of the z-axis once the camera is clipping through the ground, so that the camera remains above the ground while it's colliding into it. And that is indeed something that we can do, and to do that what you're going to do is select the code underneath the if statement, and copy and paste under it 2 times. The first line is going to be for the x-axis, the second line is going to be for the y-axis, and the third line is going to be for the z-axis. And to assign each of them to an axis, after the world position and the hit positions, you're going to open brackets, and for the x-axis you're going to put 0, for the y-axis you're going to put 1, and for the z-axis you're going to put 2. Do the same for the else like so. And now that we've separated the position by the x, y, and z-axis, upon the camera collision, when our camera holder's position is equal to the camera sensor's hit position on the z-axis, we can add an additional value of 0.1 to move the camera holder's position up by 0.1 on the z-axis. And one final thing you might want to do is to have the camera slightly pan to the side when the camera is colliding with the object like the floor, so we can still see past the character. And all you need to do for that is select the zoom camera and simply just move it to the side. There we go. That's nice.